Preliminary data shows, and again this is preliminary, that the TAC-1 plane was on a southwest heading inbound to Ketchikan. It descended from about 3,800 feet to between 3,200 and 3,300 feet at about 126 knots, which is approximately 149 miles per hour. The second plane, the Mountain Airplane, was on a west-southwest heading, also inbound to Ketchikan, maintaining an altitude of about 3,300 feet at 106 knots, which is about 125 miles per hour. The two planes converged between 3,200 and 3,300 feet on the west side of the George Inlet. We'll be looking at pilot logbooks. We'll be looking at the training and qualifications of the pilots, any medical issues, whether flight plans were filed with the company or the Federal Aviation Administration. We'll be looking at maintenance records for the aircraft, or both aircraft. We'll be looking at company operating procedures and whether those operating procedures were followed. We'll be looking at the routes that were flown. We do know that there were no cockpit voice recorders or flight data recorders on either of these planes, and neither of the planes were required by regulation to have them. I expect investigators will be on scene between about 5 to 7 days. We will not be determining the probable cause of the accident in that time frame.
The recovery efforts will begin tomorrow. There is a company here in town now that does a lot of recovery work here in the state of Alaska. He's assembling teams of divers as well, because there is some wreckage that is located well under the water.